Tactile communication, the sense of touch, plays a very important role in a variety of species. It's incredibly important in primates, of which we are one. And one of the pioneers in this area was the psychologist Harry Harlow, who did most of this work in the 1950s and on into the 60s a little bit, where he separated infant rhesus monkeys from their mothers in the laboratory and gave them a choice between a cloth-covered mother that did not provide nourishment and a wire mother that did. In fact, if we look at this wire mother in the background, you can see there's a milk bottle sticking out of there. But they typically would spend significantly more time on the cloth mother, clinging to it. They would only go over to the wire mother if they wanted to have some milk. And sometimes they'd even stay on the cloth mother and reach over with their head and try to grab the nipple of the bottle on the wire mother, never leaving the cloth mother if at all possible, if they were close enough together. When frightened by, like a mechanical toy or something like that, they'd immediately run to the cloth mother for comfort. And Harlow called this contact comfort. We also see this occurring in allo-grooming. Allo-grooming, well, grooming is if you're grooming yourself, okay? For us, it would be, combing our hair or whatever. But allo-grooming means one individual grooming another individual, which occurs in a whole variety of species. So here we see it in lions. And oftentimes, this will help maintain the pair bond. As we'll see, it also can result in significantly reduced levels of stress. Here are some baboons. There's a practical value that it also rids the groomee of parasites, the one that's being groomed, because the groomer is picking them off the groomee. So in one study, for example, found that adult female baboons that get groomed have a higher infant survival. Their infants survive more than females that get groomed significantly less. So grooming has that effect as well. That might be related to reduced stress levels. There could be other factors operating there as well. Stress reduction in the groomer, even in Barbary apes. So the one that's actually doing the grooming in this particular species has lower cortisol levels than ones that are more solitary and don't engage in grooming behavior. And we even see it in birds. We see it in young birds. And we also see it in adults. And again, plays a significant role in pair bond maintenance. And dolphins, they do something called flipper rubbing when they swim in pairs, where there's a lot of tactile communication going on as they constantly touch flipper to flipper, as we see in this brief segment. That's done quite intentionally. It's not just that they're bumping into one another. And if you want to now look at insects, these are locusts. And they can be pests because they decimate crops when they start swarming like this. And these swarms can be quite huge. I mean, they're pretty intimidating, actually, if you think about walking through one of those things. Fortunately, I've never been in that situation. We'll always try to avoid it. But, some researchers have been interested in what gets them doing this. What sets them off? I mean, they're all sitting on the ground eating crops and stuff, and suddenly the swarms will emerge and start moving from place to place. Well, one study found that touching the outer hind leg, especially that red area there, is likely to induce this gregarious swarming, where they all kind of start swarming at the same time. So they looked at what happens if you touch other body parts, and you can see the percentage of touching other body parts in terms of instigating gregarious swarming behavior is significantly less. That red area, 76 to 100% of the time that's touched, leads to gregarious swarming. So, they're walking around, they're going to be bumping into one another, and that's one of the parts that will get them going. Tandem running ants. Okay, so, in other segments we've talked about the importance of pheromones in ants, but not all species of ants actually use pheromones, and the tandem running ants are ones that do not. They are non-pheromonal. So, what happens when a leader has found a source of food? That leader will take the follower to the source of food physically. The follower, however, has to keep touching the leader in order to get to the right place. So I'll simulate that. There's some food up there. The leader's in front. There's the follower, and that gets the leader to move closer to the food. Touch the leader again, moves closer to the food, and ultimately the follower will get there as well. Tandem running. It happens a lot faster than that, as we see in this film clip right here in real time. So we have the leader and the follower. Now this is in a laboratory. I don't know if any food has actually been put out anywhere because they're basically going to be running in circles. But it's called tandem running. It's the way that one of the ants shows the location of food to another, since they do not use pheromones. So just a couple examples of tactile communication in non-human organisms.